When someone asks you what it's like living in the UK, what's life like living in the UK? Are you fucking for real?
Bro, how is anyone affording to actually live in the UK? How are you managing financially? Council tax, insurance tax, income tax, capital gains tax, NHS tax.
Have you seen these fucking prices for fucking fruit?
At what point are we going to stop being shafted by every single company out there wanting more money from us? Because I've just had enough now, honestly.
Welcome to 2025, where a two-income household working full-time can't afford a kids' party.
This country is finished, man. It's actually finished. God forbid.
Welcome back to Brit Rants. Today, we're diving into the complete disaster that is the cost of living crisis. Part 2. Bills are rising faster than your stress. Wages are going backwards, and everyone's feeling the pressure. If you're tired of barely getting by and want to hear some honest talk, hit that subscribe button. And while you're here, let me know in the comments, what do you want to see me tear into next? Let's get into it.
When someone asks you what it's like living in the UK, what's life like living in the UK? Are you fucking for real? The government are so fucking corrupt. All they want is your vote so they can get into parliament, and then once they're in, they fuck us all over. Kids killing kids. We've got homeless people that have fought for this country, living on the fucking streets, can't even get a fucking house, can't even get a property. We're fucking working all hours God sends in us so we can fucking survive, buy our food and pay our rent. We're paying for a fucking war in Ukraine that is billions of pounds that should be going to the UK. There's nothing to do with fucking us. That's what's like life is like living in the UK. Is fucking shit.
Bro, how is anyone affording to actually live in the UK? How are you managing financially? Council tax, insurance tax, income tax, capital gains tax, NHS tax. Bro, you just have a million taxes, and then they're going to start charging tax on the tax you pay so you can later pay more tax. Bro, I can't fathom it. How are people surviving in the UK, let alone thriving, when you just got constant payments you got to make? And bear in mind, that's excluding your standard like rent and your bills and your food and what you need for actual survival. It's like, bro, we're all paying this extortionate amount of money for what? For the services that are terrible. I can't even go see my GP within a 3-week period if I wanted to. And then this is our standard weather where it's just great. It's like, bro, thank God. I'm so blessed. I'm so grateful that I'm in a position financially where I can afford to maintain all these ridiculous payments that I got to be making. But it's like, bro, for the average working class person, bro, I feel for you, because how are you surviving, bro? I'd genuinely be out here on the streets with the regular 9-to-5 income, like struggling to even eat if it was all of these expenses stacking up and I had a regular wage. I don't even know what I'm spending money on. But yeah, right now it's looking really appealing. Like, I really understand why people are just selling everything they have and moving to Asia, because it's just less stress. You're not getting threatened from HMRC and random institutions every other week for payments that you didn't know you had to make. It's like, bro, like, I'm actually sick and tired of it. Like, I'm one bill away from just getting rid of this apartment, selling my car, and just going to Asia, because, like, bro, I've had enough.
You know, they have a saying in London, you can't leave your house without spending £20. I'm on my lunch break for work, and I just went and got my coat dry cleaned, and it was £30, and picked up 2 cosmetics, and it was £15. So I left the house for 20 minutes and spent £45. So if you're thinking of moving to London, just know it's not cheap.
This country is finished, man. It's actually finished. God forbid you might actually want to eat healthy or flipping manage your personal hygiene to a basic standard, because it's going to cost you an arm and a leg. I just got some deodorant, packet of rice, and some chicken korma ready meal from Sainsbury's, and a drink, and it cost me £14.80. Like, from minimum wage, yeah, that's an hour and a half work. If you change the equation from money to time, that's an hour and a half of your life just to barely survive. Like, what the... £14.80 for chicken, rice, deodorant, and a ready meal chicken korma for £15, bro. God forbid you want to actually survive and not even have fun, just survive comfortably, man. This country's in the mud.
What in the broken Britain cost of living bullshit is this now? Just take a look at this. So we got a small latte. We got a pack of smoked crispy bacon bursts. And I'll guess how much they've just cost me. Come on, someone. You've got to know what they've just cost. Tell me what you think in the comments. And I'll put the cost of them later on, because I'm shocked.
This is another reason we're leaving this country. We want some lamb mince to make a kebab and it's £7.50. Look at the pack. The size of my hand. Getting absolutely ripped off in this country.
£7.50.
And I've had enough. City.
Fuck me, I've decided to be a bit more healthy instead of eating kebabs 8 days a week and watching United pissed up on Jesus Jews. Have you seen these fucking prices for fucking fruit? No wonder every cunt's a fat cunt. I mean, look at this £2-4 like that's good. You can get a fucking doner kebab for an extra £1. No wonder everyone in this country is an obese fat bastard. And since when was it £1.40 for a fucking lettuce? It used to be 59p. Last time I bought one, which, yeah, rightly so, was about 7 years ago. I mean, look at that, £1.40 for a pack of fucking tomatoes. Something for the ladies if you can afford it. £3.50. Get to fuck. You literally got to scramble around the bargain fucking bucket section to try and get anything decent for a decent price. Fuck me, forget Ann Summers. Something else for the ladies there and a lot cheaper. I mean, that's not bad. £1.50 for a double pack. That's not too bad. Now that's not bad. 80p for a fucking pie. Get yourself down to Morrison's. Thank me later.
What the actual hell is going on in the UK? I actually think it gets worse and worse every single day. We're literally getting taxed left, right and centre. It's actually getting to the point where I feel like most people are just working to survive. Like, they're literally living paycheck to paycheck. They don't do anything else other than go to work because you literally can't afford it. Like, actually, what kind of life is that? Like, what are we all doing? I think a lot of people are opening their eyes to actually what's going on in the UK now. Like, they're actually realising that we've all been kind of brainwashed into believing that we go to school, get an education, get a good job, when in actual fact that just keeps us trapped. And the lifestyle isn't even good here. The weather is crap. Everybody is miserable. I am literally fed up of being here, getting to the point where I am thinking about going elsewhere. There actually isn't any such thing as work-life balance for most people. Now, let me know, has anyone left the UK? If you've left the UK, where have you gone? Where's better? I need some options. Anyway, rant over. Let me know what you think in the comments.
At what point are we going to stop being shafted by every single company out there wanting more money from us? Because I've just had enough now, honestly. It's just taking the absolute fucking piss. Supermarkets are extorting money out of us left, right and centre. Their energy price cap has gone up again. I mean, we knew that was coming, but it doesn't make it any easier. Just everything. Everybody wants more. And when are we all going to collectively say, we're not paying more? We can't pay more. We don't have any more. There's no more to give. I mean, genuinely, how much more can people take? It's just like the Hunger Games at the moment, trying to get through another day, surviving in the UK.
Good morning. I've checked my bank this morning and my water bill direct debit has gone out of my bank. And this month, my water bill has gone up from £68 a month, something, to £81 a month. Can someone tell me why this has happened? I am enduring, I do get thirsty, but I don't believe I've drunk that additional amount of water in 4 months. I watched some MP ballbag telling people that on benefits that they could live on £70 a week the other day. I'm sure their water bills, in fact all their bills have gone up as well. We are absolutely screwed.
Happy Thursday everyone. I can't believe it is the 1st of May already. Where is this year going? It is absolutely crazy. I decided to go and do my food shopping today and it has actually blown my mind how I have spent £300 on food to last us. Well, I don't even think it's going to last us a month. I reckon I'm going to have top-ups in between. But the price of food is absolutely extortionate at the moment and I really don't know how people can financially cope with it. Like, it's not even like our wages are going up to mirror the cost of inflation of everything. It is just absolute madness. But yeah, what a world we live in. It's absolutely crazy. But I hope you're all having a good day. I'm not working too hard and enjoying this beautiful sunshine. It's lovely today. Take care, guys. Bye.
The UK is now one of the shittest places to live. Taxes are so high they take most of your money from you, up to 45% income tax. Then on top of that, 20% VAT on everything you buy. Then you've got things like council tax, road tax, stamp duty, the list goes on. The town centres are run down shitholes, full of crime, stabbings on every corner. The cost of living so high, it costs most people's hourly wage just to buy a coffee and a sandwich. So no one can afford to live. Everyone works all day just to pay their bills and barely get by, and pay their high interest mortgage, which they end up paying 2 to 3 times more for the house than it was actually bought for. And then once they've finally finished paying this, they can't even hand the house down to their kids when they've worked their whole life and paid their taxes. They've got to pay almost half of it in inheritance tax, and they want to increase tax further.
So I have been living in this country for 3 years now, right? And you know, I had a long day at work, and I was like, let me go get myself a cheeky little half pint at my local. All right, my local, not even an expensive place. Tell me why it's £4 for a half pint now. Like, I remember when I first moved, to get a half pint, it was like maybe £3, like $3.50. It was £4 for a half pint. And like, I understand inflation, Once upon a time, back in 2017, when like I was actually the bartender, when I did that research, when I was living in Oxford and I was a bartender, I know how much it used to cost for a half pint. It was giving like £2.50, £3 max. How is it £4? Bruh.
Welcome to 2025, where a 2-income household working full-time can't afford a kids' party. My daughter Mia is turning 8. She wants the proper package at the trampoline party with 9 friends, which is the least amount of kids you can have, 10 kids including her. So alone for just the jumping and food is £189.50. And here we are, both of us working full-time, trying to figure out how the hell we can afford it. And no, not because we're careless with money or we splurge out on luxuries, but because after all the bills are paid, we barely have anything left to survive with. And I think this is the reality that no one really wants to talk about. This is the 2025 reality for most people. It's not a case of bad money management or stop buying a Costa every day. The pure fact that wages don't match the cost of living. Families are working their butts off just to stay afloat, and they're feeling like they're failing their kids, and it's just so unfair. When did giving your kid a birthday party become a massive luxury in life? I just feel like we all deserve so much better than this, and we shouldn't have to apologise for saying it. So follow me and share my journey, making an extra income online, building a following. I'm here to share tips and tricks whenever I can with saving and making money, so hit the follow button and join the team.
Tell me, yeah, I'm not the only one who spends a fucking fortune on shopping. Last month, we spent £800 on food. Give and take some few little bits for Christmas, but £800 on food. Okay, my husband is a bodybuilder. Maybe that's what he needs to quit, but that's like a wage. If you spend that much money, please let me know, or please let me know in the comments how much you spend on food, just so I can compare to see if I am doing something wrong. Because I can't cope. I don't want to do it anymore. I need to save some pennies. Maybe shopping or not buying as much is the way I'm going to do that. So yeah, please give me a heads up down in the comments what you spend on shopping, and if you think how much I'm spending is absolutely ridiculous as well.
I'm so fucking sick of living in this fucking country. My mum just rang me saying at HMRC I've asked her for 100 quid because she's gone over the savings threshold, so she's got to pay tax on a savings that she's worked for all her fucking life. They binned the fucking winter fuel payment off, and then on top of that she gets a water bill which is 120 quid more a year, and we all know we're about to get Labour council tax bills of an extra 5%, so maybe 150 quid a year more. So there's more taxes, stealth tax after stealth tax after stealth tax. What the fuck are you going to tax me next on having a fucking shack? Food prices are through the roof again. Every single business is putting the prices up. You go in Greggs, your sausage rolls, your pasties have gone up because they put a stealth tax, national insurance rise on the fucking businesses. So that means that they have to sack staff, so more people are out of jobs, and it's just an absolute shit show. A fucking shit show. Jaden, Layden and Caden sausage rolls are now going to cost $1.50, so that means there's going to be less universal credit in the pot for fucking Tracy to get smashed on wine. We've got a fake 20 million black hole, but we can fucking send money to foreign aid to Pakistan, billions of pounds. And you all voted for this. Happy fucking days for you. Get to fuck.
Can somebody please explain to me why the cost of a child's ice cream is now between £3.75 and £4.25? Hi, I'm Saf. I'm a 36-year-old stay-at-home mum to 2 girls who is living and mumming in the UK. Now, we've just pulled up to the park and Alba is definitely going to want an ice cream when she wakes up. And it just got me thinking, the cost of an ice cream these days has significantly gone up from when I was a kid, and a 99 was actually 99p. So that's just a cone, an ice cream and a bit of a flake. Now, I'm fortunate that I can buy an ice cream and it's not a problem, but £9 a time for 2 kids to have an ice cream, like, it's a lot of money for an ice cream. And the cost of living crisis is affecting everyone. Like, if you're in full-time work, if you're in part-time work, if you're a stay-at-home mum, if you are on some sort of benefits or whatever your position is, the cost of living crisis is affecting everyone, which is why I think it's so important to have an additional income in 2025. So I started a side hustle last year in digital marketing, which fits in perfect around being a busy mum. I work on my terms, I work from my phone, I don't need to be sat at a desk or whatever. I'm working as we speak, filming this video while my little girl is asleep in the back of the car, in a car park at the park. Now, if you have been looking for an additional income, if you've seen similar videos to this and thought, maybe not, then this is for you. Comment info and I'll send you everything I know about digital marketing and how I got started so you can do the same. Don't hesitate, press send, let's chat.
Good morning. I purposely do not watch the news. A, because mostly it's bullshit, and B, because it's very depressing. But I've seen a few things that are going on this morning, and one of them that really has upset me is that the Labour government are looking to private landlords to house illegal immigrants here in the UK, free of charge. Included in the payment that will be made, the very large payment that will be made to the landlords, they'll basically cover the bills and all that shit. We have got families struggling to feed themselves in the UK, here, right here. People can't feed themselves. They can't pay their bills. They can't afford to run their cars. They can't afford to function. I just don't understand. I mean, we've continuously been told that we've got no money, and yet we're whipping money out of our fucking arseholes for all sorts of different things that don't support us. It's not supporting us. And what about the legal migrants that are here, that have paid their way, that do pay into the system? How the fucking hell are they feeling? This is I just don't. There's something going on. And it's dark. I am not a conspiracy theorist or whatever it is. But there's got to be something going on. My local elections have been cancelled. I'm not happy about that. I've got friends trying to access the private rental market. It's a fucking joke. It's like being in an abusive relationship. And we're being gaslit to fuck.
Can we just talk about the fact that houses in France on average are 160k? Houses in England are on average 260k if converted to euros. The average wage in France is 42k a year. The average adjusted wage in England is 32, 34. So houses here are almost twice as expensive and wages are 25% less. And that's not accounting for the fact that food is more expensive, but the weather's significantly worse. What is going on here? How can people so adamantly defend the state the UK is currently in?
Just got this year's council tax bill, and honestly, I'm raging, and I knew I was going to be raging. We get 2 months off a year, right, where we don't have to pay council tax. We are paying council tax. It's just spread over 10 months rather than 12, right? Don't go fooling yourself. But we've had a 4.8% increase in council tax. An increase in what we have to pay, but a decrease in the services that we're going to receive, because we live in rip-off Britain. I'm absolutely sick of it. I'm not surprised. I've been waiting for this. I've been waiting for the council tax letters, and it's just filled us with more rage. The country is on its arse. Yeah, we pay more, we get less. We pay more, we get less. Pay more, get less. Honestly, I am so wound up. People can't afford to put food. People can't afford to put food in the bellies. They can't afford to heat the house, but they have to pay more council tax, because if you don't pay your council tax, you go to prison. Honestly, this country is messed up. I wouldn't mind paying more. I wouldn't mind paying more if the services that we got were to a decent standard. Down here in London, yeah, especially the borough of Croydon, load of rubbish. Honestly, it's a load of rubbish. The place is scruffy, it's filthy, the crime levels are high, you can't even get your bins emptied, right? You're paying more for emergency services, I know that, but apparently you wait about 6 hours for an ambulance these days, and then you're left on the floor of a corridor, yeah? Corridor in a hospital. That's what we're paying for, guys, that's what we're paying for. Honestly, this country sucks big buttholes, and I'm sick of it. Anyway, I'm off to calm down.
This is the reason why most people in London are never going to be able to buy a house, unless they get it through inheritance or they have insane corporate jobs earning £250,000 a year or more. Alright, the first big topic is rent. Most people are renting while they're saving for a deposit. The problem in London is that rents are absolutely through the roof, and the majority of your money that you earn and that you're trying to put aside to build your deposit for a property is being spent on rent. So if you're spending that much money on rent, you don't have enough surplus to then start stacking and afford a deposit for a house. So you're in a cycle of just paying your rent, having to live somewhere, paying your rent, and then not being able to save for a deposit. And it just lengthens the time and the age at which you're able to buy a property, and just makes things really, really, really hard. Most people's mortgage payments would be on par with the rent that they're paying for the similar property that they're staying in. So for most people who are renting a property right now, their mortgage payments, if they had a mortgage on it, would be probably lower or same as the rent which they're paying. The problem is people can't afford to save for a deposit because they're paying so much in rent. And also the mortgage applications typically lend you 4.5 times your yearly salaries. So for a lot of properties in London, you're looking at zones 2 to 3, you're looking at £750,000 plus. Let's say your household income is £100,000, you can then borrow £450,000. So your deposit would have to make up the rest, which is £300,000. Who do you know who has a £300,000 deposit? So this is fundamentally the massive problem when it comes to living in London and buying property in London. It's just very, very difficult for anyone to get on the ladder. And then once you do, you know, all of your savings have been depleted to go into a house. And in my opinion, I like to have investments. I like to have things that do go up in value aside from property. And you just have no more exposure to stock market, crypto, or any other hustles you got going on. So all of your money's tied up in your house, and essentially you are house rich but cash poor. And for me personally, that's never a situation that I want to be in because it's just not favourable. But let me know, do you agree with my points? What are your thoughts on the housing market in London? Do you think it can be helped or solved in any way?
Why is 100 GBP coming like 10p these days? Like, inflation is doing us in. I don't understand how £100 go like this capiche. When I was younger, I used to think like £100 was like flipping 10k. Like, that's how much weight £100 was holding. But now it's coming like 10p. You blink, £100 is gone out of your account. Kai! What's the blivies, mate?
This morning, I want to rant because I'm stressed. Obviously, last month was the start of a new financial year. And since April, everything has gone up. My electricity bill's gone up. My Wi-Fi's gone up. My even down to like employee NI has gone from 13% to 15%. Like this morning, I am paying bills, 1st of May. I just paid employee and it's gone from 13% to 15%. HMRC, why? What else has gone up? My storage unit has gone up. Even my down to cleaning company is charging more. Everything is going up. We're all pretending like everything's okay. We are all screwed.
So not only are we in a cost of living crisis at the minute, if you've not noticed, the world is a bit upside down, which got me thinking. With everyone struggling for money and in such uncertain times, we all know I do homegrown vegetables. Don't know why the incentive for Dig for Victory went away after the war, because if the government encouraged people to grow their own food and actually supplemented seed production for people to buy, say at food banks, if they had a little parcel of land, I mean even a windowsill to grow some tomatoes or peppers on, or potatoes. But it got me thinking. This is the Dig for Victory guide from 1945 by Mr. Middleton. It's the all year round gardening guide, and I wanted to see how they did it during the wartime, just after the wartime when they were still rationing. So I brought this online just to sort of follow along as part of a mini-series, follow along some of the hints and tips from this book and see if in 2025 Dig for Victory would still be a great idea. Like, with people struggling for food and everybody having at least a little bit of space on a windowsill or enough for a pot in the garden to grow potatoes in. I'm just going to go to this week in the book and see what the book says. So we're in the first week of February. I'm just going to read you a little excerpt. So we have a planting plan for the first week, the second week, and so on. So I'm going to read you the first bit. Plant shallots. Where weather conditions permit, shallots can be planted. Thoroughly prepare the bed, dressing it with a good general fertiliser, a little extra superphosphate or lime bone meal, and some wood ash. Rake or fork this in. Plant only good sound bulbs in rows 12 inches apart. In dealing with shallots, push the bulbs halfway into the soil 9 inches apart. Simple. In little books like these, they literally have every week of the year on. Every single week of the year. I mean, we've got some old adverts in here, which is fantastic. But every single week and how to help. And this was to help people grow vegetables during wartime. I know we're not in wartime, but we are in difficult times. And not only that, we used to grow such vast amounts, especially carrots, that we had a surplus of carrots that we used to have to send abroad. And it just shows that if, as a nation, or as a town or a village, especially if you came together in a smaller town or a smaller village, like food sharing, if someone in the village had a sunnier garden and so they decided to grow sunnier crops, and someone had a shadier garden and they decided to grow sort of shadier loving crops, and there was a sort of community vibe of sharing food, I think something like this would be much needed and much desired in these times that we're living in. So I'm going to be following a few hints and tips from this on the channel. So I use this in the garden for its little hints and tips for digging for victory. I shall let you know how I get on. I might make a little mini series following a few of the tips in this book. Let me know in the comments if you'd like that. But yeah, Dig for Victory by the great Mr. Middleton. Thanks, guys.
Well, there you have it. The cost of living crisis in all its glory. While we're all just trying to stay afloat, the people at the top are swimming in money, and we're left sinking under the weight of our bills. If you're tired of pretending this is normal, hit that like button, share this with someone who needs to hear it, and if you haven't already, hit subscribe. This isn't going to solve itself, but at least we can complain about it together.